this Friday morning, May 1st, tomorrow, will be the first time since 2012 where both the Sixers and Flyers were still playing in the month of May, where both teams were still playing. 14 years.
That is so ridiculous.
That's wild to think about.
So every kid who is a college graduate who's walking the stage this year.
Yeah.
So all my seniors who are graduating, you just think of all those kids. That's like they were second graders.
Bro, Andy and I were in high school.
Yeah.
They were second graders.
We were graduating. We were seniors in high school, man.
It's unbelievable. I can't even imagine you two as seniors in high school.
I feel
We were
it's
like us,
probably
but
not,
dumber.
I was going to say, it probably wasn't that
It's really
dissimilar to what we see now.
Dude, it's not much different. I just
Really?
have a kid now.
I don't see them as being
Good morning,
dissimilar.
Amy.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey
Yeah,
there,
I've been a consistent person. You know, the only thing about my pre-senior year
I'm
life
giving
was
him too much credit.
I was
Amy.
very quiet, and I think a lot of people miss that. Now I'm a chatty
Chatty Cathy.
Cathy.
Yeah, you say that, which is crazy. He always says
Yeah.
that. He
Yeah,
was
very quiet.
much more anonymous.
Yeah, and now
I never had that issue. I was a lot of
you got in
big
trouble.
sharer of class.
Did you get ever comments on your report
Oh, yeah,
cards?
talkative.
Yes.
A lot of talkative.
So did I.
Yeah, I got fat and greasy long hair.
They didn't write that on your report card.
They wanted to. All right. So, Amy, last night, Sixers do it again. They beat the Celtics, and they force a Game 7, which will be tomorrow night at the Boston Garden. It was at the Xfinity Mobile Arena yesterday. You're doing Sixers pre- and post-game. You got everything going on. You're in the building. What was
awesome.
What was the atmosphere like before we even talk about the game? Like, that to me has been one of the biggest storylines for the Flyers run is seeing that atmosphere again, because it's been so long since we've seen it. It's been kind of a long time since we've seen it with the Sixers after last year's horrific end of the season.
Right.
The Knicks series, it was a lot of Knicks fans in the building because the previous year it was another disappointing end. So it's been a long time since we've seen this with the Sixers.
Yeah, there was a lot of nervous energy. It was, we do the pregame show, we come back upstairs, it's 8:00, and there's still people filing in. There's still people we can see. So our offices are inside the Xfinity Mobile Arena. We can look out, we see 95. There's still people getting getting off on the exit and parking. And I was like, you guys better get in here. And then once I think I walked out just towards the end of the first quarter, it started out as nervous energy. I think when I was talking to people in the concourse, when I walked out around it was probably around 6:15. I think people are just like that kind of trepidatious of I'm really excited. I really like seeing Game 5. I had to come out and see Game 6, but I really want them to do well. It was kind of like the vibe. And then once they did
quick
well.
Story. My buddy Joey, who I used to go to all the Sixers game with as a cosplayer, as John calls us, when we were in the Revolutionaries.
They were cosplaying during it. Yeah.
He texted me saying, I want to go to the game so bad tonight, but I'm afraid that if I go,
there's a lot of that.
They're gonna lose.
Really?
And
I saw some people at the Wawa, because I always pick up, as you guys probably know, I pick up a soup before every pregame show for Coach. I usually get myself a snack too, but I always pick up a soup, and I saw some fans, and they're like, we're going, we had to go, but we're really nervous. I hope they do well. And I saw a couple people in the concourse.
Is this the one Platte Bridge one?
It was, yes, there.
That's a great one, by the way. They are efficient.
Great Wawa.
Very efficient
and
Wawa.
So just there was a lot of that nervous energy beforehand. Like I said, talked to the people in the concourse at the Wawa. And then when I went out towards the end of the first quarter, a lot of people, I wanted to be out there. I wanted to see, and they played like they had, and they fought. And I think they started to believe. And then at halftime, had to go out because the greatest of all time was at the halftime show.
Yeah.
So I needed to see Red Panda, obviously.
The GOAT, dude.
She's the GOAT. There will be no commentary on that at all. She's the greatest of all time.
She's the best.
She's the best. And if you didn't see her,
close second is the dude with the chairs.
Yeah, great.
That gives me great anxiety.
That guy's in his 70s, going
That's
up
impressive.
those stairs.
That guy gives me
Red Panda.
You don't know how old Red Panda is. She could be 110.
Yeah, she could be.
She's
great
been around
skincare
forever.
routine if she's
on a
doing
unicycle. And she's balancing bowls on one leg and hopping them up on her head. It's the greatest of all time. There is no second
season. Because remember, she got hurt last year.
She's from Delco? I don't know.
She lives in a box, and they get her out just for halftime shows. But anyway, so I walked out at halftime, and the chest puffing out was evident, and I was here for it. This has been a really tough season for the Sixers. Following a very tough season, I appreciated the fans feeling it and giving it to the Boston fans. I loved that. Chase him out of the building. Drown him out.
We want Boston.
Joel Embiid's face, when he heard it, we had a great shot of
Made
that.
him smile.
I was like, this is worth it. The whole thing is worth it right now. Obviously, you want them to win Game 7. It's been, a heck of a run. It's been so much fun to watch the joy return to some of these players. Let's go remember Tyrese Maxey's face after Game 1. That's not going to happen again. That's what he said.
And
he delivered.
And
then Game 4, he was like, we cannot get. Even after Game 5, he's like, I'm tired of getting out rebounded. Who won the rebounding battle last night? The Sixers did.
Yeah.
The way they've been playing defensively, it's. I didn't know they had that. To be honest,
that's what I keep
Everyone's
saying.
in on it. Everyone's in on the defense.
So, Amy, we've been talking about this a lot today, and we're getting a lot of people's thoughts on it. Have the text line ready, Connor. Davis on a text line. Feel the Davis difference. Check him out in Burlington. I know we got voice memos as well, so we'll play those. If they pull this off tomorrow, all right, and at this point, let's go. Whatever.
Let's go.
If they
Let's
pull this
do
off
it.
tomorrow,
How about saying just when?
when they pull this off tomorrow,
Let's do it.
will this be the most surprising series victory in Philadelphia sports that you can think of?
I mean, I think the 2022 Phillies going to the World Series, that the NLCS victory was a little bit surprising given where they started. But maybe once they started, I thought the Phillies were going to win. So maybe it's not.
That's what I said about the Eagles. I know series
2017.
the run to the Super Bowl. If you told me before the season started,
right?
I'd be like, you're literally a crack
in the
addict.
Playoffs. You thought, yeah, they have a chance to win the Super Bowl.
I thought that they beat the Falcons. I thought that they beat the Vikings, and then when it got to the Super Bowl, I said, "There's so much magic going on." They're winning.
Of course, in 2022, after the way that they won, you're like, yeah, they could actually go the whole. There is probably no part of the previous 6 games that you thought the Sixers had a chance to beat the Celtics.
I thought they were losing in 4. I've been honest.
You were not alone.
I was honest with everybody.
Vegas was with you as well.
Yeah.
You were not alone. Gentleman's sweep is what I thought, because I thought Tyrese Maxey's going to get you one.
Right.
You didn't think you'd see Joel Embiid. And then when we did see Joel Embiid in Game 4, you thought,
bad.
It's been a tough 2 games for the Joel Embiid haters.
Yes.
It's been a tough 2 games.
Yes.
For the people that say that they can't, and I'll paraphrase Jim Lynam, you say you can't play with Joel Embiid, I can play with Joel Embiid.
I saw that clip.
Amy can play with Joel Embiid.
It was awesome.
Because they figured it out. And this is exactly what that front office thought was going to happen when you signed Paul George. Listen, I was not on board. I've said it. I was not super on board with the Paul George signing. I liked him as a player.
We weren't.
But I thought the years for a player of that age with that many miles on his wheels, I thought that's not ideal. And for the large part, all of us had been proven right.
Yeah.
Until right now, which is remarkable.
His play yesterday, and really his play this entire series. Except for Game 1. And not just his play, Amy. We talked about this. We're going out 2 hours now. His leadership, which is something that I never really looked at with Paul George.
The quiet guy.
Quiet, but I compared it to Quinyon Mitchell to Darius Slay, to Tyrese Maxey to James Harden. Now VJ Edgecombe to Paul George. There is a bond between those 2 guys. And it's something that, a lot of people will be hesitant to give credit for, because I know how we operate. We're all human. People have an opinion on somebody. They're going to stick with that opinion. Yep. So
sure,
people hated James Harden. They won't give him credit for what he did for Tyrese Maxey. He did a lot for Tyrese Maxey. So did Doc Rivers, right? There was a bond between him and those guys. VJ Edgecombe and Paul George have some sort of relationship that's beautiful right now. And you don't think that's helping VJ Edgecombe? You don't think during the suspension, which again, shame on you for whatever it was. You did this to yourself. Instead of running and hiding, he was there every single night talking with the guys and really connecting with VJ Edgecombe. A lot of the talk was Eric Gordon was going to be that guy for him. Remember that?
Yep.
They kept him here because of that connection. Paul George has been a great leader for him and for a lot of the young guys.
Yeah, I think he leads by example a lot. And so because he's not a guy that gives you a lot. Listen, the leaders on this team are not these big rah-rah guys. Tyrese Maxey can be that to a certain degree, but not really. He's not an overt guy. Neither is Joel Embiid. Neither is Paul George. So when Paul George says something, they tend to listen a little bit more. I think he commands a lot of respect. But the most important thing is that he's walking the walk. Right? So when he's talking about guarding these are 2 of the best wing players, excuse me, in the NBA. You got 2 top 12 players in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, 2 of the best wing players in the NBA, and they're absolutely making them earn every single point. It's relentless defense, and when Paul George is doing it at his age, and he's older for basketball, not for life, it says something. It shows something to those guys.
Are we looking at this team, though, unfairly? And one of our listeners asks, look at it this way. Embiid with the appendectomy. George with the 25-game mystery suspension. This team should have been much better.
Yeah.
We're making them sound like they're like the little underdogs when really they should have been a 5 or a 6 seed.
They'd still be an underdogs of the Celtics, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of the rounds.
They would have been, even if they, at the very beginning of the season, if everything had come together.
A 5
and
seed,
this is,
right?
Well, no, if everything had come together, they're a 3 seed, right? If you had Joel Embiid for 70 games and Paul George for 70 games and Tyrese Maxey for 70 games, there's no way they wouldn't have been one of the top seeds. But you didn't. That's not a realistic expectation. Let's be honest.
This doesn't work that way.
They had 21 games. 21. And you saw glimpses. When Paul George, I think it was like the 3rd or 4th game, he came back after a suspension. Joel Embiid returned after his oblique injury. You saw some glimpses. And we all looked at each other and thought, maybe this is a team that can figure it out. Is there enough runway to, and then on the morning of the most important game of the season to secure that lack of play-in spot, you have an emergency app. You can't write it.
No.
But Jim said something last night. Coach said something last night on air. He said it off air, and then I made him kind of repeat it on air. He said, is this the healthiest that Joel Embiid has been for a postseason? Which is wild to think about because the man is 3 weeks removed from an appendectomy, but I think he's right.
Yeah, well, it's like what we said with Paul George. His legs were going to be fresh, even though he was suspended for reasons that we don't know yet, but
violation of
he can tell
NBA's,
us at some point.
Yeah.
At some point, I'm sure he's going to share with
and
us.
he's never going to. So to the guy, was it on social media that brought that up? They would have been a underdog against the Boston Celtics regardless. Before the playoffs started, before any game 1 started, the Boston Celtics were the odds-on favorite to get out of the Eastern Conference at plus 450.
Yeah, it was a big favorite.
Do you want to know who was second and what their odds were?
The Knicks.
Knicks tied with Cavs. Plus 1,500.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so plus 450 to plus 1,500 for the second best odds. So, yeah, they are the little engine that could right now. They would have been against the Boston Celtics in round 2, round 3. It doesn't matter because the Celtics were the odds-on favorite to get to the NBA Finals from the Eastern Conference.
Because when they saw Jason Tatum come back with 16 games to go and the fact that he was rounding into form, they have 2 of the best players at the best positions, and they thought that's going to be – and the way they shoot the 3 – like, let's not forget, this is one of the best 3-point shooting teams, certainly by volume, in the NBA. And you make the 3, you win a lot of games. They won 56 games without Jason Tatum for the most part. I mean, that's why they're the favorites.
How much do you think Tatum's hurt?
I don't think he's that hurt.
Last night I'm telling you, watching him in that second half, and then when he went up in the locker room, and then he came back and he came back down, and now they're saying it's a calf injury to the other leg.
Maybe not hurt enough to miss time, but compensation and maybe his legs. And look, we talked about this last Friday.
Everybody's banged up.
1 week ago today, we talked about this. Could his legs, because of the injury, potentially impact his shot? And in the last 2 games, it looks like it's impacted the 3. He's still down mid-range, down low. He's a 3-level scorer. I mean, he's
ridiculous.
He's ridiculous. But the 3-point shot, which is what the Boston Celtics want to do, if they're not also falling.
Yeah, and they're making them pay for it. You have to really watch Game 5 and Game 6 to see how much they're chasing them off the line. There is, and Tom McGinnis had a fantastic call of it in Game 5. Quentin Grimes made Jaylen Brown work so hard. Jaylen Brown's arms were exhausted by that. And then last night you saw one where Kelly Oubre did it. He actually got beat by Jaylen Brown. He recovers. He gets the block with help defense from Embiid, sends it up to Paul George, who has a nifty behind the back, and VJ Edgecombe for the flush. That's what you need to see because they're making them work for it. So they're running them off the line. So now they have to drive in. Now they have help defense because they have a large human in there. It's 7'2". That's such a big body that they're really having to work for. So they're tiring him out. So yeah, maybe he does have a little bit of a leg issue, but also they're getting exhausted. The Sixers are relentless with their defense.
The big thing is the rebounding. Those rebounds.
They out-rebound.
That's what killed the Knicks. The Knicks series a couple of years ago. That's
Celtics
what
had
killed them.
one offensive rebound, I think, almost the entire first half. I think it was like not until the middle of the second quarter they got their second offensive rebound.
Maniac Malloy pointing out Philadelphia is 6-0 since the Rob Thompson firing.
How about that?
So Topper was holding Embiid back as well.
He was also holding the Flyers.
He held back
the
the
Didn't know that.
6-0.
That's a lot of responsibility on one gentleman.
I think everybody was sort of nodding off, like, those
Don
press
Mattingly.
conferences.
No, it's not that
everything.
Don Mattingly's now coaching all the teams.
I don't know.
How about Don
Mattingly-
Mattingly's message after his first win? Say anything? Nope.
I enjoy.
Got it.
I enjoy still hearing him talk baseball much more than hearing Rob. And Rob's a great person and everything, but I enjoy hearing a little. I get
Mark
more.
that down.
I get more out of hearing.
It'll turn.
A little turn.
I just also love that he told everybody that he was not going to do literally anything different.
Yeah,
What
but
do
he
you
was
know?
like,
But he already
everything
has,
Rob
though.
was doing was great. I was like, all right.
He already has, though.
They bunted once.
Yes.
Hey,
They did.
Yes,
fun
they
one.
did. They
Twice.
did.
Stop on it
Yes.
twice yesterday.
Yes.
I texted you guys in the group chat because we were also keeping eyes on
Which,
the
by the
Phillies
way, do
game
you
last
approve
night.
of?
I swear,
Sure.
somebody needs to actually do this deep dive analysis that they have time on their hands. I don't. I can't remember how many times I've seen the bottom of the 10th inning team with the ghost runner on second bunt the runner over. Because these new age analytic people are like, oh no, you don't want to give up an out. You want to, and then what happens? You bunt them over.
But
and
that gentleman is a lot
sac fly
closer
ends
to,
it.
yeah, he's a lot closer to home plate.
Yes. And by
It
the
makes,
way,
it makes it stupid that they don't do it.
and by the way, it shows you, though, because there were people saying Rob Thompson doesn't do it because Rob Thompson's being told he can't do it.
Well, he did try to bunt in
Well,
the playoff
yeah, no.
game.
Yeah,
Well, let's-
but after not doing it all year.
Let's also, like,
after not doing it all year. But
let's
Rob,
also go back to like how poor this team bunts.
no, I understand. But Rob Thompson,
They're really bad at bunting.
We will be always being told Rob Thompson doesn't do things because the front office doesn't let him do it. Nah, it was Rob Thompson not wanting to do it.
Yeah, and in the playoffs, it's not like they use Stott to bunt.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
wait.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
They're doing the same
With
thing.
Nick Castellanos.
Can you hit me with a voice memo, Connor, at 610-632-0975? You can leave voice memos on the Davis Honda text line as well. What do we got?
Xavier checks in from
Good
Newtown
name.
Square.
Good name.
Yeah, if you didn't wake up today feeling fired up, take your ass back to bed.
Yeah,
You have the two
buddy.
best words in sports, and that's Game 7. And nobody thought that we was going to be here, including myself. I'll say it. Yo, I'm so happy. I'm proud of the team. I'm proud of Joel for coming back. He's the ultimate toughness player. And if you're not a Joel Embiid fan, you should just respect them at least. Celtics, I hate them. Let's put them in the grave, put them away, put them to sleep. Let's go.
I love that message. If you're not a Joel Embiid fan, you're not like a big fan of his, you better at least show him the respect.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid with your critique. Show him the respect for what he's done in this series because they're not here in Game 7 without him.
No, he had back-to-back 8 assist games.
Yeah.
Which
and
is
that
awesome.
behind the back
Because his
pass
shot wasn't
to
falling. What
Kelly
was he?
Oubre
What did he
was-
finish?
6 of 18.
6 of 18.
And he said that afterwards. He's like, my efficiency, I've got to get it way back up. He's a very efficient
yeah,
player.
but he contributed some other
But
way.
that's the think about
right?
the day before, he was, I think, 12 of 18, and he went 0 for 5. So that like shows you he was definitely his efficiency was off, but he was able to get everything else rolling. The whole thing.
And you know why? Because he doesn't have to do it by himself anymore. There's been a lot of teams where it's
Oh, yeah.
we go as Embiid goes. Now you have Maxey, you have Paul George contributing, VJ Edgecombe some big moments last night, Kelly Oubre some big moments last night. I know Quentin Grimes not as much offensively yesterday.
But defensively.
Defensively, it's not a one-man show anymore. And so if he's not as efficient, it's up to him to continue to find other ways to be efficient, and he
Still
did that
shoots,
last
yeah.
night.
Still shoots, which
Love
is
it.
important.
By the way, Xavier was the guy we gave
Yep, sent
tickets
to the game, right.
for the play-in tournament.
And his wife got into it.
Yeah, I love it. All right, coming up next. What would this series win mean for Joel Embiid? It's the Boston Celtics. We'll play what he said last night, but it's also still just the first round. So we talk about that coming up next. Also, what does Vegas think about the Flyers' chances in round 2? It is Kincaid and Salchunas on this Friday with Fadool here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kincaid and Salchunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
All right, it's 8:29 here on Kincaid and Sal Tunis 97.5 The Fanatic. Real quick, just to let people know, it looks like we're going to have some special programming tomorrow for those of you who are interested in working Saturdays and aren't going down to the Jersey Shore. As of right now, I'm waiting for officials. I will be
officials.
I will be on 4 to 6 tomorrow here on the Fanatic.
Appreciate you.
4 to 6 in the morning?
Are you with me? No, PM.
That's
no,
early.
Hell no. Are you working? What are you?
I don't know. Nobody's talked to me yet.
Hey,
I'm
come on down.
I will be on 4 to 6 tomorrow, getting people hyped up for Sixers Flyers, and then might make my way over to Manioc and have a good time.
Yes, enjoy it.
I
think
you
the
might
day.
be able to
When
do
in
that.
Rome,
Yeah,
Rome,
we're
Manioc,
right here,
pretty
right
much
there,
the
right
same
across the water.
And you're saying I might not bump into your parents tomorrow.
I don't know.
Over in
I
Ocean
don't know
City.
what my parents are doing tomorrow. I've
Keep an eye on your parents. Call your parents.
called them yesterday, but
All
I didn't
right.
say, hey, what are you guys doing
Say,
Saturday?
Big Al, you gonna be over there? Come on.
All right. So Joel Embiid last night after the Sixers win was just sort of asked about how special it is that they're going back to Boston for a Game 7 in the what-if scenario. This was Joel Embiid talking about his time playing the Celtics in the playoffs.
44 years in this historic rivalry since the Sixers last eliminated the Celtics in a playoff series. How do you view this opportunity on Saturday to try to do that?
I've been playing these guys for so long. I'm tired of losing to them. So we have a chance to accomplish, something special. They're a great team, and you look at everything they have. That's a super team. So we just got to go in there with the mindset we've had for the last, 2 games, last 2 wins, and one play at a time. Tough environment, but we've been there. We won 2 games over there. So just keep doing what we've been doing, and we're coming from.
So he's tired of it. We're all feeling it. Amy, you've been covering his entire career, right, with NBC Sports Philadelphia. Him beating Boston, for the city of Philadelphia. I mean, we had Tasty Cake Dom on. You've talked about it.
It's awful.
It's been.
They're awful.
It's been 4 decades, but Embiid's lost them a lot. How much would a series win over Boston mean for Joel Embiid? But it's also only round 1. And It would be great and all to be the team that slayed the Celtics, but if they were to lose in round 2, it would
Same
be
narrative.
another, all right, well, they didn't get out of the second round. So what would tomorrow's victory mean for Embiid?
I think it would mean a lot. It wouldn't mean as much as advancing past the second round, because that has been just something that he's been trying to achieve. The Sixers have been trying to achieve since 2001, which is remarkable to think about.
Yeah.
And that would still stick. But I feel like the narrative would be a lot different, given the fact that he's come back from an appendectomy and the way that he's played. Listen, this guy has played well in the playoffs. I think that's a little bit of a kind of one of those effects where you just assume that he has not been very good in the playoffs. He's been available and played well in the playoffs. Now, he's obviously had games where he hasn't played well, but
and
overall,
some that are inexcusable, like Game 7
Game 7 Celtics.
Inexcusable.
He was not alone, but he was certainly at the forefront
And
of
6.
just not showing up.
Final 5 minutes, yeah.
Game 6, too. Yeah.
But as a whole, he has usually performed pretty well. He hasn't performed well against the Celtics, though. That was always because of Al Horford. Remember? And then the Sixers were like, well, we're going to get Al Horford.
Yeah.
And then that, obviously, he was a secret undercover agent. He was designed to come here to bring down the Sixers. It accomplished.
It worked.
You can't convince me otherwise. The guy forgot how to play basketball for one season, but whatever. I digress. But I think slaying the Celtics and coming back the way that they did after down 3-1 will go a really long way. Playoffs are where people's legacies are cemented. And I'm not saying it would make him this, huge, giant, playoff star. People will be like, that guy is a guy that you can get behind. There's certain things that will never change people's narratives. And it doesn't matter if he beats the Celtics. But I would think it would go a long way in helping people see that, you know what? Maybe you should have a little bit more appreciation, if you don't already, for Joel Embiid. Because beating the Celtics is a huge accomplishment. Coming back from 3-1 is a huge accomplishment after everything they've been through. And I know, what the guy said on social media was like, well, it's not like they're this little underdog. They are an underdog. They're an underdog.
Yeah.
I get it. They have a huge payroll.
Celtics were minus 1150 to start the series to win this series. That's monster underdog.
Celtics were minus 1100 after Game 5.
Yeah, that's
after Game 5. I bet it.
Oh.
Sixers were plus 1100 to win the series after Game 5.
I call you Johnny Vegas. Maybe it should be Amy Vegas.
Call 1-800-AIM.
Listen, Brian Brennan, who is our producer for our free Sixers pre and post game shows, sent it to our group chat of me and Mark and Coach, and he was like, "Guess what the odds are for the Sixers to win?" And I guessed like plus 650, and he said, "Try almost double." I was like, "Okay, well, let me log into that."
Might as well,
right?
Why not?
Free. I had money sitting in there. Why not?
It's a good value bet, Johnny.
It's a good value bet.
I love it when people say that.
Yo, this is a great value bet.
Great value bet. This team.
I literally had a couple of bucks sitting in there, and I was like, "All right, I'm not doing anything with that."
Great value bet.
I have to reload for the ponies.
It's such a horrible
she's
term.
got the pony bets tomorrow.
I got a
Damn
couple.
right you do. All right, we also have the Flyers tomorrow. So,
yes, let's go. 7:30 and 8 o'clock.
Speaking of guess the odds, let's play it. I have the game one and I have the series odds. I imagine you've already looked, Johnny Vegas.
No, all I know is that the Flyers odds to win the series when it first was posted.
Ooh, okay.
Came out to roughly that the Flyers were the Hurricanes were like a 3-1 favorite to win the series.
All right. Do you want to guess you want to go game first or series first?
Do game first.
All right, game first, one. Money. We'll go money line. What do you guys think?
Carolina minus 135.
I was going to go a little higher, but not much. Minus 150.
Connor?
I'll go minus 160.
Price is right rules?
You win Price is Right rules. Minus 205.
Oh, my gosh.
Flyers plus 168.
Take it. Every game this year, again. Every game this year went to overtime. Between these two teams, all 4 games wasn't decided in 60 minutes.
And by the way, if you're thinking about it, like if there's a game to steal, it's game one.
205?
205.
That's incredible.
Well, Flyers
home
plus
and they're
168.
Yeah, they are.
They've had a week.
Yeah, but the rust could be a problem too.
Rest versus rust. People don't talk about it anymore.
Here's one of the misnomers, and I'm stealing this from Pat McAfee's show, by the way. So I'm stealing this from his team, and I don't know if they do much research on there, but they do entertain.
Someone might.
They do entertain. The whole thing about teams with rest, the teams with rest that have have a significant advantage in the rest of those periods of time. When they're waiting at home, the team with the rest, they win game 1, lose game 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
more likely.
So what you're saying is
people think it's because they had their betting guy on and everything, and he goes, "You think
they get amped up for game 1?
You think that it's game 1 that they're going to lose because of the rust. Game 2's the one that more likely they are to lose."
So what you're saying is they're due to lose both.
I think I told you before.
Let's go Flyers.
I told you before with the rest. I believe the Flyers are going to come back here with a split.
I would love that.
All right.
Well, the series odds, they're not giving much of a chance.
Yeah.
Carolina minus 345.
Wow,
Flyers
that means
plus
money.
270.
Means money has gone further. Carolina's way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was plus 300, minus 300.
Like yeah, something.
But hey, we're happy to be here.
They were 3.8% to make it.
Don't you dare say that.
3.8% to make it.
I can say it.
At the Olympic break.
I can say it. Rick Tocchet won't say it.
Yeah, Rick Tocchet will not.
All right, let's go to our man Stan in Drexel Hill, who I still remember early on in the series said, "Hey, look, Sixers match up well." What's up, Stan?
Listen. First of all, good morning, guys.
Hi,
it's always a pleasure to be able to speak to you. Listen, I didn't say that because I wanted to be irrational or, just be a fan and everything. I just looked at Boston, and I thought they overachieved this year because everybody thought that team was going to be playing at best without Tatum and losing so many, of their quality players that people thought they were going to be possibly like. I saw people saying like, man, of course the Celtics are going to be able to reload and get a top 3 lottery pick to add to Jason Tatum coming back. And like, that's what people thought was going to happen. And they went out and they listen, Joe Mazzulla coached his butt off. Jaylen Brown had an MVP type season. So I'm not taking anything away from them. It's just when you get to the playoffs, like, I don't know, I'm really big on watching basketball and identifying stuff. Like, that's just how I look at it. I don't watch it really as a fan anymore. So when I'm watching them, I just thought they have a lot of one-dimensional players. And I'm not trying to say that to say the Sixers have better quality players, but I look at it and I say if the Sixers go out there and they do what they're supposed to, they should be able to match up with this team because you're not going to get killed by guys like Sam Hauser off the dribble. He's a spot-up shooter. Peyton Pritchard has a lot of tells that I said last time. Like, he likes to shoot off his left hand. They're forcing him right, and he's uncomfortable to shoot the ball going right. You know, Keita is not a guy. Like, Keita is like the best version of Bona, right? So it's like there's a lot of different things that I look. Vucevic is not the same player he once was. They don't have the same pieces that put you in hell, like the Marcus Smarts and the Terry Roziers and Drew Holiday. They don't have those guys anymore. So you should be able to. Tatum and Brown are going to do what they do, but you should be able to take advantage of those other guys. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing them attack. I'm seeing them be aggressive on both sides of the ball. And, you know, Paul George is doing a hell of a job defending whoever's in front of him.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they, to me, matched up well, better on paper. And when you look at it, it kind of flipped because the Sixers going into the season were looked at to be a top 5 team because on paper the roster was better and Boston was a bottom 5 team. And then that's why you play the game, right? And I think the reason why the Sixers looked at as underdogs were looked at as underdogs is because they underachieved this season. And yes, there was a lot of stuff between health and Paul George getting suspended, but they underachieved at times because they blew games that they should have won. Right? So,
yeah, and we know that the third quarters were such a mess this year. And thanks for the call, Stan. I could talk to Stan all day.
Sure.
Like
it was good. He has some good salient points.
Yeah,
he loves.
Though I will say, Nick Vucevic has never played well, even at the height of his career. Even when he was playing the best, he's never played well against Joel Embiid. He must hate seeing that 21.
It must be just one of those.
He's with the Magic, he got owned. He's with the Bulls, he got owned. His skill set just doesn't match up with it. He cannot. Listen,
well, can't you?
There's very few that can.
Yeah.
But he really has. If you're going to try to beat Joel Embiid, you have to be something that he's not when he's going, right?
Well, and early in the career, it was those physical Euro bigs. The Valanciunas, of course, I have to go with him first. Marcus Gasol
was good against him.
What about Cat?
Absolutely not.
No.
Cat has played horrible against
Embiid owns his ass.
But that's a completely different skill set. Cat's not a traditional big. The fact they list him as a center is laughable. He's a 4.
Agree,
yeah.
He's a 4.
I'm just trying to look for more silver linings. Maybe look at the crystal ball.
OG Anunoby is the formidable force.
Correct.
The physicality that the Knicks have that would match up.
By the way, I did not know this.
They can throw bodies at him.
Let's get there first.
Adam Aronson, Sixers Adam, yesterday put out the tweet that Dr. Glashow
was in the building.
Last night.
Excited.
The guy that worked on Embiid's knee.
Wow.
That guy could key to the city. Vladar gets one.
Wait a minute.
Glashow gets
to the
one.
city.
That's all right.
He's going to have to share it with Mr. Appendix, whoever did that one down in Houston.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a routine. No, it's the people that got him back. The people got him back.
Yeah.
It's a routine
Everybody
surgery.
gets a key.
Coming up next.
Hand out 40 keys.
How do we bounce tomorrow? We're going to try to figure that out.
Everyone, hydrate.
We're going to try to figure that out, how we balance that out tomorrow. Coming up next, Kincaid and Sal Chunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Kincaid and Sal Chunas, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It's 8:46 here on Kincaid and Sal Chunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Devastating turn of events just now during the commercial break. Connor goes, hey, I need you to hit something on the show, on the little promotion sheet here. Check out the Fanatic Pro Shop. We have a great T-shirt up for grabs. The We've Got Hockey Action Yo T-shirt, available in orange or black, sizes small through 4XL, starting at just $20. Plus other great Fanatic T-shirts, hats, and mugs that make great gifts. Click the Fanatic Pro Shop at 97.5thefanatic.com. What was devastating was I said, oh, Connor, then get the drop. Because We've Got Hockey Action Yo for the day one Fanatic people was the great Jose from Norristown.
Yeah, it's a great...
We have hockey action, yo.
I feel like I've heard that recently.
Maybe you can't find it. I don't know. John
Marks must have it.
He probably has it. I wouldn't be surprised if John Marks came up with the idea for We've Got Hockey Action, yo. But it's Jose from Norristown, man, going back to the Tony and Harry days. I mean, that's Bruno and Mays. That's when I was.
I'm sure Tony
when I was an intern.
Only repeated that a few times every show.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Knowing my man Tony.
Yeah. You follow me, man.
You know that.
All right. So coming up at 9:30, breaking the news to you guys as well. We always talk about how exciting this is for fans that have been there from the beginning. We also talk about the play-by-play guys, like for Tom McGinnis.
Yeah.
For Tim Saunders, what we're experiencing with the Flyers. Well, coming up at 9:30, he's going to join us in studio. Matt Cord, the in-arena voice at the Xfinity Mobile Arena that's been doing it for 30 years.
He's been dying to retire, and they just won't let him.
Let's get him one more.
Exactly.
Let's get him a couple more.
There was a lot of sad feelings that we thought Game 4 was the last one, and of how ugly that game went. And then the Sixers find a way to win in Game 5, and we go, oh, my God, Matt Cord has one more potential big night for him.
And another.
And, man, was last night great. The Tyrese Maxey shot into a timeout Boston, the VJ Edgecombe dunk into a timeout Boston. There's nothing, like, I love, one of my favorite things about the in-arena experience during a basketball game is the big play followed by the timeout. And Matt Cord screaming, timeout, Boston! And then, jump around plays or whatever song plays going into the timeout, and the place is rocking. And so I'm so happy that Matt Cord got to have another great night last night in a great career. And hopefully, Amy, let's get him one more. Let's get him
a couple more.
Three?
Well,
Three
he's on a fixed income now that he's retiring.
So Matty Cord will be joining us in studio coming up at 9:30. How do we bounce tomorrow? Can we try to figure this out?
Well, there was a gentleman that we saw in the Sixers game that was nodding off early.
Yeah, he was asleep.
I think that maybe he had gone to the first game of the doubleheader.
Oh.
I'm just guessing. I don't know why you'd be kind of like struggling to stay awake in the Sixers atmosphere.
Maybe
that, or he took an edible, and
you got to balance the imbibing.
So you have to really pace yourselves.
Yeah,
it's a long day. We got a 4 o'clock, 7:30, and an 8.
So Phillies start the day tomorrow. Now Phillies is you're getting the rest of your night ready. All right. With all due respect to the 3-0 Phillies in the Don Mattingly era, soon to be 4-0. Like if you're preparing, let's say you want to have a nice snack, or you're the crock pot, or whatever. You're using the Phillies game. It's on. You have it turned up. You're listening to the broadcast on NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Okay.
But you're also doing other things to prepare. Maybe you're paying attention to your child. Maybe you're paying attention to your spouse. Because once 7:30 starts, you have to be locked in. But how do you balance viewership?
I don't know how.
Okay. And I say this as a person that has, a television and an iPad.
You have a television?
I don't understand how this is a dilemma.
Okay.
No, what gets big screen?
What gets the priority in your house tomorrow?
Whatever is rolling.
What gets the TV?
See, I switch back and forth.
See, I can't do that.
How do you do? You can't do that
with the multiples. What I will do,
you obviously can, but you got to have the
look. To me, this is easy.
Halftime, big TV will absolutely have Flyers.
But to me, it's easy. Sixers get.
None of this applies to me.
7.
I will be locked in, and I will have in our offices. We have multiple televisions on at all times, so I will be watching all the games.
Game 7 priority has to take priority.
They get big screen. Yes.
Because it's going to be hopefully I do believe it's going to be a long series also. So I think it's a long Flyer series. Game 7 is priority until the game dictates that it's not. So if the Sixers start blowing them out by 15, you might want to go over to a tie game with the Flyers and
you're allowed to make adjustments.
No, if you adjust, then that messes with the mojo. Don't do that.
Right. Mojo.
It's not just that. If the Sixers go into Boston and they are blowing out the Celtics,
don't you want to watch
Game
that to
7? I'm
end?
not looking away.
Yeah.
I want to see.
You want to see everything. You want to watch that everything. You want to watch the fans leave. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, folks.
Connor, that's it. No, I want to dream today, Amy. I want to dream. I love what Connor's dreaming about. I think that's great.
I want to see Tatum crying.
Connor, you just gave me that. Connor, that is a great visual point.
No,
I want to see it too. My wife hates Tatum. She has no interest in basketball.
Why does she hate Tatum? He's like the only likable player for me.
She just can't stand him. Thinks a poser.
Which is hard because he went to Duke and he plays for the Celtics. So I'm like, you're really making it hard.
Why you would ever defend him. Because of all people.
The way that he plays basketball is something that I enjoy watching.
Yeah, she says
he's a poser.
He's a poser.
He's been trying new things every year to try to make it his.
Yeah, he's a poser.
The best running bit is like, well, Kobe already did that.
Kobe. I mean,
that guy already did that.
That's my favorite thing
Tatum
that he
has
does.
never done anything original.
No.
So you see him. He's now doing before the game. He does this with the jersey.
Yeah, I mean,
he does the let me look at my fingers and kiss them. Like he's trying.
He's trying really hard.
So many things to be like, this is the Tatum thing.
Whatever it is,
you're not Kobe.
Do it. Keep doing it. He tugs his earlobes. He does
Yeah,
all
like
kinds of
he's
stuff.
doing whatever.
Well, that's a sign for his kids, but
He's just trying. He's trying. Someone needs to take.
You know who I do need?
Who?
There in Boston? I need Arthur Embiid in Boston.
Yeah.
He was there in Game 5. He was courtside again in Game 6, as he always is. But I need him in Boston again. That's what I need.
By the way, I love when Embiid right after the game just goes right to him. Like I love that.
How do you not enjoy that?
That one, no. Any
child is adorable.
A father-son moment.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Like who doesn't?
How freaking cute was it that he took his sweatshirt off and he had the Embiid jersey under?
Well, he asked for it in the pregame. You see him; he's just like you could tell that he asked, and then he lifts it up and shows him, and then he says at the end of it, it says like we're going back home. At the end of his interview with Lisa Salters, which is just an amazing moment,
awesome.
and then
by the way, is a Sixers fan, but she hides it. She's a King of Prussia girl.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
And so she is
local.
Upper Marion High School.
How about that?
And so Lisa does a great job though of never displaying the I'm rooting for my home team. She is a Sixers fan. So she's wanting the Sixers to win.
All right, question: fair or unfair? Coop's got a TV. Do I unplug his TV and plug it in the family room and we go Sixers Flyers on both TVs?
Well, he wants to be with you, right, for an event like that.
He will. He might actually think that's awesome if I did that.
Dude.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That'd be like a special, again,
he has his own TV in his room.
He's got a playroom where I watch TV.
Okay, so playroom. Okay.
Yeah,
we have a playroom
I
TV
watch
too.
when he plays.
You watch like Bluey.
Yeah.
K-pop Demon Hunters can wait.
Yeah, hell yeah.
He's
got
not
Game 7.
watching the K-pop Demon Hunters.
All right, coming
My
up
wife
next.
and daughter may both have seen it.
Coming up next, we relived last night, Sixers montage, but also there is a very interesting topic that has nothing to do with the Sixers and Flyers, but it has to do with the Eagles. And I'm going to take you back to a specific day where I got eviscerated for a take that I had. And I wonder if John Kincaid feels the heat today. It's Kincaid and South Jews, 97.5 The Fanatic.